The closest planet to the Sun and the smallest planet in the solar system, Mercury, is only slightly larger than the Moon. Mercury receives 7 times more heat and light than Earth, so its surface temperature ranges from 430 C during the day to minus 190 C at night. This is the largest temperature difference in the solar system. ALTHOUGH people have observed Mercury in the sky since ancient times. Not much is known about it. The first image of its surface was taken only in 1974. It appeared to be covered with numerous craters and rocks. Atmosphere is almost absent. Perhaps the reason for this is solar radiation, or maybe a celestial body of such a size is simply unable to hold a dense gas shell, since Mercury needs to travel a much shorter distance than Earth to revolve around the Sun. The year on Mercury is much shorter. Only 88 Earth days, for one Mercurian day manages to pass more than to local years, since the rotation axis of the planet is almost not tilted. The year on it is not divided into seasons. Venus is the second planet from the Sun and closest to Earth. Venus is sometimes called our planet's twin. Its size and mass are very close to Earth's. However, the similarity ends there. Venus is shrouded in a very dense layer of clouds, behind which it is impossible to see the surface. Because of the greenhouse effect, it heats up to 480 C, an absolute record for the solar system. The clouds shed acid rain and let in only 40% of the sunlight, so the planet is in perpetual bloom. Due to the strongest atmospheric pressure at a depth of 900 meters in the Earth's oceans, no research vehicle sent to Venus lasted longer than 2 hours. Nevertheless, scientists were able to learn that the planet's atmosphere is 94% carbon dioxide, and the composition of the soil does not differ from other planets of the Earth group. There are many volcanoes on Venus, but almost no craters. All meteorites burn up in the dense atmosphere. A day on Venus lasts longer than on any other planet, about 243 Earth days. The length of a year is slightly shorter than a day to 225 Earth days. Like Mercury, there are no seasons on Venus. Venus clouds reflect sunlight well, so in the terrestrial sky the planet shines brighter than others. Perhaps that is why the ancient Romans associated her with the goddess of beauty and love. It is noteworthy that Venus is one of the 2 planets in the solar system that rotate clockwise around the axis. Earth is the 3rd planet from the Sun and the largest in the Earth group. Earth's unique conditions have allowed life to develop on the planet. Earth's atmosphere is made up of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and other gases. Oxygen and nitrogen are essential substances for building DNA. The ozone layer of the atmosphere absorbs solar radiation. Plants on Earth synthesize oxygen from carbon dioxide. Without them, our planet would resemble Venus. On the other hand, some CO2 in the atmosphere keeps the Earth at a comfortable temperature for life. 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Unlike the Moon and Mercury, Earth has very few craters. Scientists believe they have disappeared due to wind and soil erosion. Because of the tilt of the Earth's axis, the seasons of the year are clearly distinguishable on Earth. It takes the Earth just under 24 hours to revolve around its axis, the shortest day among the planets of the Earth group. The Earth has a satellite, the Moon. Its size is 1/4 of the Earth's diameter, which is quite large for a satellite. The Moon's gravity affects Earth's water, causing tides. The Moon's rotation around its axis and around the Earth is synchronous, so the Moon always faces the Earth with only one side facing the Earth. Mars, the 4th planet from the Sun, is almost half the size of Earth. For a long time, it was believed that life existed on a red planet. People observed objects on its surface that seemed to them to be buildings, roads, and even giant sculptures. However, the Martian civilization turned out to be a deception of vision. Numerous research missions have not yet confirmed the presence of any life on the planet's surface either. Mars' atmosphere is similar in composition to Venus minus 95% carbon dioxide, but because it is very thin and rarefied, the greenhouse effect does not occur, so the maximum temperature of the planet's surface, about 0 C, and the atmospheric pressure is 160 times lower than on Earth. There is water vapor in the Martian atmosphere and glacier caps at the poles, but there is no liquid water on the surface. Still, scientists consider Mars the most promising planet for exploration because the weather conditions on it are quite acceptable for humans. Except for the low oxygen content in the atmosphere, radiation and dust storms that last for several months, Mars is home to the highest mountain in the solar system, Mount Olympus volcano, which is 27 kilometers high. That's 3 times higher than Mount Everest, Earth's highest mountain, because of its distance from the Sun. The year on Mars is almost twice as long as on Earth. The speed of rotation around its axis is almost the same as on Earth, so a day lasts 24 hours and 40 minutes. The tilt of Mars' axis is 25:2, which means that there are seasons on Mars, just like on Earth. Jupiter, the largest of the giant planets, is separated from Mars by an asteroid belt. Jupiter has twice the mass of all the other planets, moons, comets, and asteroids in the system combined. It is second only to Venus in brightness in the Earth's sky. People have observed it since ancient times and associated it with the strongest gods of their pantheons. Jupiter is the name of the Roman king of the gods. Jupiter is a gas giant. The brown and white streaks are clouds of sulfur compounds that move through the planet's atmosphere at monstrous speeds. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is a giant vortex. Since its discovery in 1664, it has become noticeably smaller, but now it is several times the size of the Earth. Scientists are still only guessing about the structure of the planet. Presumably it consists of gases smoothly transitioning into a metallic state as it approaches the core. Jupiter's core is believed to be rocky. Jupiter's strongest magnetic field in the system affects particles billions of kilometers around and even reaches Saturn's orbit. This is one reason for the planet's huge number of satellites. In 1610, astronomer Galileo Galilei discovered the 4 largest satellites of Jupiter. Today, there are 79 known objects orbiting the planet. Some of them resemble the Moon, while others look like large asteroids. Of particular interest is Io, a planet with the most powerful volcanoes in the system. Smaller particles form rings around Jupiter, although they are not as visible as those of neighboring Saturn. The 6th planet from the Sun. Like Jupiter's satellites, Saturn was discovered by Galileo in the early 17th century. To date, it remains one of the least studied planets. Saturn's atmosphere is composed of hydrogen 96% and helium 4% with minor inclusions of other gases. Wind speeds on Saturn reach 1,800 kilometers per hour, the strongest winds in the system. Little is known about what goes on behind the planet's atmospheric layer. Supposedly, there is a metal silicate core at the center, surrounded by metal compressed gases whose density decreases as you move away from the core. The planet is 9.5 times farther from the Sun than the Earth and makes a revolution around the star in 29.5 Earth years. The tilt of Saturn's axis resembles Earth's. Saturn is second only to Jupiter in the speed of rotation around its axis. Like other gas giants, the planet has different rotation rates at different latitudes. This is because Saturn's surface is fluid, not solid. Saturn's density is so low that it could float on the surface of water. Saturn's main feature is its impressive system of 7 rings. They are made up of billions of icy shards that reflect light perfectly and are therefore highly visible. The radius of the rings is huge, 73,000 kilometers, and the thickness is only 1 kilometer. It is believed that these rings are fragments of a satellite destroyed by the planet's gravity. The 7th planet from the Sun. Uranus was discovered relatively recently, in 1781. It was reached by a single spacecraft, Voyager 2. In 1986, the planet's atmosphere is colored a uniform blue-green. Scientists believe it's methane that makes it so. The cores of Uranus and Neptune are supposedly made of ice, which is why they're called ice giants. Uranus is the coldest planet in the system, with an average surface temperature of -223 degrees Celsius. Wind speed on Uranus reaches 900 kilometers per hour. Sunlight takes just under 3 hours to reach Uranus, and a year on the planet is equal to 84 Earth years. Like Saturn, Uranus is surrounded by rings. They are not so bright and are located at an angle of about 90 degrees to the orbit, while the planet itself rotates on its side the angle of deviation of the axis -99 degrees. As a result, half of the Uranian year is daytime on the southern hemisphere and nighttime on the northern hemisphere, and the next half of the year is the other way around. Neptune is so far away that it cannot be seen from Earth with the naked eye. It was discovered in 1846 when astronomers were looking for the planet causing Uranus orbital deviations. Reliable data about Neptune was obtained by Voyager 2 in 1989. Its upper atmosphere consists of hydrogen, helium, and methane. It is the abundance of methane that explains the planet's blue glow. Every few years, Dark storm spots appear and disappear in the planet's atmosphere. Presumably, Neptune has an icy core at its center, and the mantle consists of a liquid mixture of water and ammonia. The average surface temperature is minus 214 degrees Celsius. It takes almost 5 hours for sunlight to reach Neptune, and a Neptunian year is equal to 165 Earth years. The planet makes a full revolution around its axis rather quickly. A day lasts only 17 hours. The tilt of Neptune's axis is close to Earth's 28 degrees. For its deep blue color, the planet was named after the ancient Roman god of the seas.